everybody, welcome back to our channel, and this week we are at the original autism-friendly glamping site that is Leafy Fields in Devon. So we are here to meet Danny and Andrew and learn all about their story, about how they set up Leafy Fields and what made them decide to become an autism-friendly glamping site. Thank you so much for having us down here. So what made you start a glamping site?
Well, we wanted to start our campsite, and we thought glamping looked like it was spreading at the time.
What year did you start?
2016. We did look at camping and caravanning club and all those sort of options, but I think we were too near someone
close
else.
To someone else within their radius.
Yes, they only did within a certain radius, so which meant that we had to go the full planning permission and site license and things like that. So we went that route, and glamping seemed to fit.
And I didn't realise you don't actually live on site, do you? You live about a 15-minute drive away.
Yeah.
And so how was it getting planning permission and kind of overcoming all those obstacles?
Planning permission was very expensive, slightly horrific.
Right.
We didn't want to do that again.
How long did it take?
It took a year, didn't
About
it?
a year.
A year.
Okay.
A full year. But with lots of pushing and lots of support from planning consultants as well. We had a planning consultant.
Okay.
And I would definitely say don't do it without a planning consultant.
Right, okay.
Because the planning department find it hard to talk to you.
Okay.
In a way that you can,
Yeah.
where they can directly talk to a planning consultant and
Okay.
say, oh, you need a drawing of this, or you need something of that, you need to justify that it's needed. So we did open with 2 bell tents in the first year on the 28-day licence.
Okay.
I'm really glad we did, because it meant that we could prove that there was a demand,
Yeah.
which we couldn't have proved any other way.
No, that's true.
Because obviously, people could phone around campsites and say, oh, they've got space there for people
Yeah.
at other campsites, but we wanted to provide something specific here, so
Yeah.
that was...
And were you autism friendly right from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what led you to go down that route?
We're autistic. We're an autistic family.
Yeah. So it made sense for you to...
Any business we run would have to be autism friendly.
Yeah.
And it's what we know.
Yeah.
And going on holiday with our family, we know the bits that don't work. Like when your kids learn to ride bikes and they don't like staying near you, they disappear very quickly.
Yeah.
So we had our middle one's a wanderer. They just disappear quietly.
Right. Okay.
They wander off and you just realise they've gone.
Okay.
So our fencing, we put stock fencing on the bottom and chicken wire on the top because we found that he can't climb that.
Okay.
We don't promise that someone couldn't get out.
No.
But they would be slowed down by our hedging and fencing, and we keep our front gates locked.
Okay.
I would say good luck.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm
No.
sure it probably is.
Yeah.
But it gives a chance for a carer or parent to catch up.
And what other things have you put in place specifically for neurodiverse families?
We have a sunflower pack that's specifically for neurodiverse families. We send out a pre-arrival, so they book that as an extra.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have that. It doesn't mention autism in it anywhere. It's not, if you booked it, you wouldn't be like sort of outing your child.
No.
I've had people worried about that, but it's a book of all the sort of local places that are really good for going with a child that might find it difficult in public.
Yeah.
It gives them a bit of information about that place, contact details for getting there and stuff like that. And these are places that our guests have been before, or we've been before, so they're tried and tested, and we know people will be welcome. And we usually go and talk to places if we can as well. If we haven't been for a while, we'll touch base and make sure they're still happy to receive our sort of families. We have a sunflower lanyard that's in there, which is part of the sunflower lanyard scheme for making hidden disabilities visible. It has a social story about the animals, which gets emailed out to them as well. The whole pack gets emailed out before they arrive, and then there's a solid pack of it here. There's a social story for each of the accommodations, and they get 1 day in the sensory playroom. This is our sunflower room. So if you have a sunflower pack, you can get a day in here, and you have the key code, and you have a day allocated to you during your stay.
Oh, amazing. So you've got some like different lights, haven't you?
There's some
and
light effects, a bubble tube.
And some
and just a calming space where you
And
can
sensory
just
toys and
skate.
things.
Yeah.
flushes.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just a nice place to relax.
Nice, and lots
Yeah.
of little nests to sit in and chill out, and an adult chair because we found people were
Sit on the
finding
floor.
hard to sit, and we've got some books for adults and children.
So you're doing amazing things as well. And you were telling me earlier the example of the LED light on the shower.
Yeah, which there's a lot of things if you stay here as a neurotypical family you wouldn't notice, but there are things that do help with autism. So people sometimes find it hard with water on their head and things like that, so we don't have baths in these units. We've got showers, so we have a colour change shower so it can distract while you wash, which we found works really well with some families. The main thing we do is the no judgment, so we know what it's like, and we can anticipate a lot of the things that happen. So we're not going to be shocked by stuff happening. We're happy to help accommodate where people are worried.
So you've got 2 Clear Sky safari tents. You've got a shepherd's hut and you've got a bell tent. So what made you go with safari tents from Clear Sky?
I think we liked the space in them. We liked the furniture. It's very robust.
For me, for Clear Skies, they don't have guy lines.
Yeah, they don't have guy lines.
Other manufacturers of safari tents, they've got guy lines. Then you've got great metal pegs. People running around, tripping over them, potentially headbutting the metal peg. It doesn't really end well.
No. And I think that the framework it's much more.
It's a robust.
It feels
framework.
more solid and robust, whereas the alternative tents don't feel quite so. They feel a bit more kind of tent-like. These feel more like cabin log.
Exactly.
But they're still canvas.
And you've got the really cool cabin bed, and then that little kind of den underneath, which
was really important to me. The cabin beds were a big seller of that for us. We were the first ones to make it into a play area underneath. I see that quite a lot now.
I bet. And so let's talk about the animals you've got. So you've got quite a menagerie of animals here. Have you done that because you love animals? Have you done it for the glamping site? Have you done it for the children that are coming? What was the reasoning?
It started, we wanted to have animals as a handling thing. Because a lot of children really relax around animals. So, but they're kind of our pets as well as being animals that people can handle, if that makes sense. Certainly the horses are.
First and foremost, they're our pets.
The horses are kids, so we've got 3 horses, 3 kids. But people love to handle them, love to say hello to them and groom them and things. We've got rabbits and guinea pigs, and everything's miniature. So it's miniature horses, miniature rabbits, miniature sheep, miniature goats.
And in terms of extra revenue, do you do anything that can gain you a bit of extra revenue from the animals?
Just the sheep food.
Okay, so you charge for sheep food.
Yeah, and then guests can hand feed the sheep.
Which is that's pretty popular, is it?
Very popular. Very, very popular.
How is it living off site? Because we get a lot of questions about, I can't find land, I can't find a house with land, but I want to start a glamping site. How did you make it work with being 15-minute drive away?
It's not too far, if that makes sense. You couldn't do it completely remotely. I mean, we do all our own cleaning, everything.
Right,
we don't employ anybody. We have had people help us with the animals over time, haven't we? But we haven't, not for the last few years. So we literally were here every day to do everything.
We run an out of hours call number.
Okay.
So they have the call number. They phone to call in. We have a contactless check-in since COVID. We've just done contactless. So we have gate keys. That everyone gets a gate key when they arrive. Key safe, and let themselves in. They text us to let us know they're here. And we give them the Wi-Fi code. Which encourages them to check in. They want to get up on the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And then if they need us, we've got our phone numbers here, and if they don't, then we might not see them for the whole stay. So they'll be in and out during the day. Or we might see them when we come and do the animals. We're here every day doing the animals. So there's a good chance we're going to see people. Juggling children and backwards and forwards, that's tricky. And if someone needs something, it's easier for us if they've pre-booked it. So we do put a lot of emphasis on these are the extras if you want those. Pre-book them. So I think it's you treat it like going to work rather than stepping into your garden.
That's how I feel. Like it's continual. Like we live on site and we're just always there, and the people are always there, and you
don't get a break.
You don't get a break, no.
And I find that coming from home over here, you've got that commute time that you can then get your head into the right mindset of okay, now I'm going into work, rather than I'm wandering around the back garden. Oh great, okay, yes, how can I help you?
Not like yesterday when we were both in our pyjamas and we got a knock on the door to say, have you got what's the word?
A jack.
A jack for the car because their car had a flat tyre.
Yeah, no, we don't get that.
No.
We might get the phone call for that.
Right, yeah.
But we can be in our pyjamas for the phone
You're
call.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa's not like, hi, answer the door in your pyjamas.
Yeah. It's more of a thing for I think if you're buying a glamping site and you're not going to live on site, yeah, it's cheaper to buy a field and do it that way.
How big is this field?
It's 2 acres.
Okay. And you've got 4 units on 2 acres, so
yeah,
you know,
we can have up to 6 bell tents, so we can have a lot more on our license.
So 6 bell tents and 2 sparrow tents and the shepherd's hut.
And we can have another shepherd hut as well.
Oh wow, okay.
So we're not at capacity.
No.
But it works well for.
It works well. For
yeah,
what
we've tried. Yeah, we've had up to 5 bell tents, and we find that this is a right number.
Yeah.
For
works for
occupancy
you.
and
Yeah.
occupancy for us to manage, and for families coping with each other as well, because you can get too crowded.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the work-life balance. It's making the glamping site. It's a lifestyle choice, isn't it? So it's making it right for you and not trying to push it
Plus,
too big.
if you make it too big and too crowded, people won't come back.
No.
So you've got to get the balance right to attract people in the first place, because glamping needs space.
Yeah.
So that's an important side of it, I think.
And how are you finding the world of marketing your glamping site, especially this year when we're in the same group of marketing help, thank you Sarah Orchard. So that's how we met. But how are you finding the world of like trying to get your glamping site out there when there are so many?
I'm really feeling unskilled. I need to improve my skills with that. So yeah, I'll probably be joining Sarah's marketing groups and things.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot of people out there trying to help, and there's a lot of people who the glamping industry is changing a lot, and it's very hard to. I think there's going to be a split in the glamping industry. I think it's going to. I think you're going to get like the Secret Garden boutique stays, and then rural glamping. You could put the two together, and they're nothing alike.
Different, absolutely.
And yeah, his is Secret Garden. He's all booked out, and totally there's a demand for that. It's absolutely lovely, but there's also a demand for not as much, obviously, but families and things for what we do with the more rural glamping and closer to camping.
Yeah.
Although this isn't really close to camping either.
No, this is like on the grid.
Yeah.
Did you know, Brian? They've got actual main sewage. Main sewage.
We're too,
and mains power.
A mains power.
We're too close to the sewer to not connect to it. We had to connect.
Yeah.
So.
I'm so jealous. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for the amazing tour of your place. And if you have any questions about Leafy Fields, I will pop in the description everything about it and the website, so you can come and visit if you would like to. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on our next video.